Que lo que? Today, I want to talk about my family all hands meeting. This is the fourth and final video of our mini series called The 4 Game Changers. Our family all hand meetings has been my secret sauce to managing my finances and lifestyle with poise. That's why I'm super excited to finally be going over this amazing game changer. I know family meetings are something that a lot of us overlook because we don't want to feel like we're running our family like a business. But that perspective is wrong. It's actually quite the opposite. Believe it or not, how you manage your household has a huge impact on how you manage your finances. I'm telling you, this isn't talked about enough for a reason, because it's hard. Just think about it. If your household's a mess, where you don't know what you're gonna cook tonight, the laundry's not done, and your schedule is so jam-packed that you keep on forgetting to pay those bills that are stacking up in the corner. Let's be honest. How do you think this is gonna affect your finances? Or even worse, your life? Yeah, it's gonna be a hot mess. Un disparate. I don't know about you, but this is why I want to talk about something a lot deeper. I want to share my approach to family meetings that I've been using to bring some peace of mind to my entire household from a financial and lifestyle point of view, which all centers around our family all hands meeting. In this video, we're going to discuss what a family all hands meeting is, how to prepare for this kind of meeting, and also all the topics that you want to go over when having your family all hand meetings, from your finances to family activities. This way, you can openly discuss what you need in order to manage your household for success. It's funny because when my husband and I were newly engaged, we started doing budgeting dates. We were super focused on paying off our student loans and saving for our wedding. But like everything else in life, things change and we had to evolve. We had 2 kids, we added 2 businesses, and suddenly just doing a budgeting date was not enough, not even a little. We needed something more holistic so that we can manage everything from doctor's appointments to business trips and everything in between. I'll be honest, it's a lot to juggle. So instead of pretending that I'm Wonder Woman and that my husband's Superman, we decided to sit down and have a family meeting so that we can figure this all out together. Now, when it comes down to what a family all hands meeting is, think of it like this. It's a monthly meeting with your family where you discuss everything from your finances to family activities, your cleaning routine, and even your monthly meal plan. All of this is on the agenda. Now, do not get this confused. This is not a little chit chat situation just hanging out. No, this is a full on strategy session, whether it's with your partner, your kids, or even a friend that holds you accountable. I'm not saying this just to say it. These meetings have been a total game changer for my family because it's our time to give each other space to openly communicate with each other and to do what's necessary to keep our family running smoothly. I'm telling you, done are the days of just winging it and burning out. Been there, done that, and if you're done with that too, then you're really going to enjoy these family all hand meetings. How to prep for a family all hands meeting. All right, before I go any deeper into my family all hands, I want to share how to properly prepare for this kind of meeting. With step 1 being you need an agenda of what's going to be talked about so you can set yourself up to have a successful meeting. This is going to be key. You can create an agenda on your Google Docs, an Excel, or even a notes app. What my husband and I like to do is use this amazing project management app called Notion. It's kind of like an advanced notes, but for getting shit done, if you know what I mean. When it comes down to what's on the agenda of your family all hands meeting, at the end of every month, you want to go over the following 4 main points, which are your personal finances and your business finances if you have one, your family activities, your cleaning routine, and your monthly meal plan. Within each of these main points, your goal is to answer these 3 questions. What worked, what didn't work, and what plans you have for the upcoming month. The second step in setting up your family all hands is you need a budget. I know, I told you this was gonna be hard. If you don't have a budget for the next 3 months, I would personally focus on this step first. You can use an app, a budgeting notebook, or even an Excel sheet. That's what I personally do. I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be fancy. You just need a simple budget. The main goal here is for you to personally see your numbers of how much you spent versus how much you thought you were going to spend that month. You also need to know these numbers beforehand so you can discuss it during your family all hands. This is why you need a budget. Now, if you already have a budget, great. Just make sure that you're reviewing it and updating it before your meeting. Step 3, list out all of your concerns. You're going to want to list out all of your questions and concerns that you have before your family all-hand meetings. Doesn't matter how small or big they may seem. It might be regarding expense on the budget or the list of family activities that you have on the docket that you're, a little questioning right there. It doesn't matter. Just write it down, because the last thing you want to do is get to your family meeting and just blank out and forget what you're talking about. You want to make sure that you are speaking up and participating. That's the whole point of this. The 4th step is showing up ready to collaborate. These family meetings is all about being prepared and showing up with a good attitude. You want to approach these strategy sessions ready to listen and to join in. That's what collaboration is all about. You don't want to be sitting there acting like a little dictator, okay? The last step is to make the time. It is so important that you make the time to meet and actually do a family all hands meeting. A great way to stay consistent that's worked for my household is to mark the last weekend of every single month to actually do the meeting. That way you're not distracted with your kids' homework or exhausted after a long day of work. My husband and I, we are morning people, so we like to maximize our mornings and sometimes our late afternoons for topics like this. Again, figure out what days and times work for you and make sure you're adding it to your calendar. Talking about time, when my husband and I officially started covering all of these topics, not just the budget, it took us about 40 to 60 minutes to cover each one. You have to remind yourself when you're coming up with a new strategy, it's gonna take some time, but after a while, each conversation took about 20 minutes, if that, to actually go over. The best part about our family all-hand meetings is that we even get our kids involved too. Yes, we want them to share their thoughts on what they want to eat, what family activities they want to do, and also what chores they have to do. This is a great opportunity for us to teach them these vital skill sets about how to communicate and problem solve in a group setting. Again, great skill sets that they're going to need in general. After having a family all-hands meeting, you do not want to forget to create a to-do list and also update your calendars accordingly. A lot is talked about that can easily be forgotten. Hey, it happens to the best of us. I also want to remind you to give yourself some grace if you need to spread out these conversations. Some topics take longer to figure out than others, and that's okay. You have to remind yourself of why you're doing a family all-hands meeting. Literally, it's about reflecting and aligning your finances and your lifestyle so that can benefit you and your family. Now, let's get into the main points of a family all-hands meeting, starting with your finances. Hey, it's the best part. All right, the first conversation during a family all-hands meeting, it's gonna be about the finances. At the end of each month, it's important to put everything on the table, from reviewing what money came in, what went out, and what surprises kind of caught you off guard. This is where my husband and I get into the specifics, like how much did we go over on eating out this month? Did we set a back-to-school budget for our kids? Or what about those unexpected repairs that we put on the credit card? Were they handled? And if not, let's talk about it. Having family all-hand meetings is all about being proactive, catching things as early as possible, and also discussing how to adjust your budget if you need to. That's part of this conversation. I know that these extra expenses sometimes feel like they're unexpected, but when you are putting in the time to plan out your finances, the unexpected doesn't feel as unexpected anymore. And these financial conversations help with that. As a mom, I get it. Life can be busy. That's why I value these meetings more than ever. Now, when you're going through the financial part of your family all hands meeting, you really want to make sure that you're setting up next month's budget and you're discussing how much money you're going to generally allocate to your everyday accounts, especially if you're utilizing the high five banking method, which I talk about in the first video of our mini series, The 4 Game Changers. If you haven't checked that video out, definitely check it out because it's definitely a cornerstone of how we manage our finances. is. But to reel it back, during this meeting, you also want to talk about the goals that you're planning on accomplishing that month, like making an extra debt payment or opening up that high yield savings account for your emergency fund, or discussing a large purchase like planning for a trip. That's all going to be part of this conversation. These are the moments that you do not want to stay all hush hush. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to get anyone upset. No, no, no. These are actually the moments that you need to speak up and bring up the topics that you are concerned about so that you can work together towards supporting each other's goals. That's what this meeting is all about. Family activities. Discussing family activities is always going to come with a level of excitement and also a little bit of compromise. During our family all hand meetings, we list out all of the family activities that we need to do and also that we want to do. Whether that's my husband and I maneuvering our schedules for my son's speech therapy or even a business trip, to thoughtfully planning out our holidays and even date nights. This to-do list can get out of hand quickly. That's why it's important to pace yourself and to consider everyone's schedule during this conversation. I know this because living in San Diego comes with an endless opportunities of always being out and about. But for this exercise, it's about finding that right balance so that you don't overly extend yourself physically or financially. During your family all-hand meetings, another important aspect to discuss when you're talking about family activities that have kind of become a secret love language for me is when my husband and I are laying out all of these activities and we're able to take something off each other's plate. This is nice because if we're seeing that I'm having a heavy week where I have a podcast, I'm doing a webinar, instead of running late to pick up my kids after school, we can switch up our routines where my husband can step in and pick them up. This is how we run our family smoothly, which I love. Now, when it comes to the finance part of doing family activities, in my household, we have money set aside for family activities within the lifestyle checking account of our high five banking method. The great part is that we already talked about that during the finance part of our family all hand meetings. So now all we have to do is decide how we actually want to utilize those funds. A great tip here is to always have your calendar out so you're not missing anything, and then you can also update it. With all the family activities that you're planning on doing, the main goal is that everyone knows what we're doing, when we're doing it, and what the budget is. Cleaning routine. Believe it or not, having a cleaning routine really does make your life easier. No more wondering when was the last time I cleaned the oven or organized the garage. During the cleaning routine portion of your family all hand meetings, you really want to focus on the areas of your home that need attention. From daily tidying up to deep cleaning tasks like cleaning behind the oven or the fridge or organizing the pantry. These are all important tasks that need to get done. Now, once we review those bigger cleaning projects, we like to pull up our calendar so that we can spread out when we're going to actually complete these tasks. This way we can hold ourselves accountable and not allow this to become an overwhelming chore. Here's the great part. As our family has grown, so has everyone's responsibilities in keeping the home nice and tidy and organized. Because initially, my husband and I did all the cleaning, of course. My kids were little. But now that they're growing up, they're able to fold their own clothes, vacuum, and help keep the main areas of the home nice and tidy, which I really appreciate. Now, let's go over the next topic of our family all hand meetings. Monthly meal plan. During our family all hand meetings, monthly meal planning is where the four game changers really come together. From helping me save countless hours in the kitchen during the week to maintaining a balanced diet and allow me to take one more thing off my plate, which I am a-okay with. By taking some inspiration from our kids' school lunch menu, we decided to create a monthly meal plan. Now, because nothing in life is perfect, this monthly meal plan is very flexible. It allows for any last-minute accommodations like date nights or any eating out that we want to do. Luckily, because I've been meal prepping for so long, I've collected a good amount of recipes, making planning out my meals for a month a breeze. But it wasn't always like that. If you see my previous video on meal prepping, every week my meals are based on a theme, where Mondays are meatless Mondays, Tuesdays are taco Tuesdays, and Wednesdays are healthy Wednesday, for example. Once I create a theme meal plan for 1 week, I can then replicate that process for the whole month. So that way we can enjoy an abundance of different meals throughout the whole month. The awesome part about this strategy is that it ensures that I'm utilizing any sales or deals that are going on, and of course my bulk buy, which I talked about in a previous video. This allows me to easily just look in my freezer and start creating meals based on what I already have. I'm telling you, these four game changers are all working together. During this part of the meeting, you can get your kids involved as well. This is something that we do so that everyone can put their 2 cents on the menu. It also gets everyone excited and wanting to eat their actual meals that they picked. This makes meal planning an inclusive experience for everyone and not just a me job or my husband's job. At the end of a family all hand meetings, you always want to remind yourself of the importance of teamwork and open communication. Over the years, I've learned that assumptions can lead to misunderstandings, which can really disrupt the peace of your home. By discussing everything openly, from meal preferences to financial decisions, it eliminates the risk of any confusion. It also solidifies that everyone's expectations are clear. I'm telling you, these meetings have become a cornerstone in our family life, not just because of the financial or the logical planning stuff, but more as a way to solidify our bond and ensuring that everyone's being heard and valued. As a quick recap of our family all hand meetings and the four topics that you're going to discuss is going to be surrounding your personal finances and business finances if you have one, your family activities, your cleaning routine, and your monthly meal plan. When you're discussing these main topics, again, your goal is to answer these three questions: what worked, what didn't, and what plans you have for the upcoming month. Remember that. And this, mi gente, is how you run a family all hands meeting. I hope this video inspires you to start your own, whether it's just starting to budget for the first time or just making sure that everyone's on the same page, because these meetings can really transform how you manage a household. Well, if you have any other questions or want more information on this topic, do not hesitate to reach out. Actually, next week, I'm going to be hosting a Q&A to answer your top questions about my family all-hand meetings. If you want to submit a question, just leave me a comment down below, send me a DM on Instagram or an email, all that works. I am super excited to connect. And please, mi gente, do not forget to subscribe and share this information with all of your friends and family. Bye.